And this notion of the good guy finishes last. How does that sit with a man like Rashid, who has all his experiences, have met the connections to so many people? Because the stories you gave, we're gonna get to those stories, right?
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you being the good guy per se in the room,
Yeah.
how's that served you to this day?
Well, good guys do finish last. That's just real talk. You know what I mean? But sometimes you gotta be a dick. And that's my motto. You know what I mean? Like, so 90% of me is a good guy. And 10% of me, I'm an ass. In essence, I think good guys, all they have to do is read the room that they're in. That's the problem. The problem isn't being a good guy. The problem is maybe you don't need to be a good guy in that room. You know what I mean? Or maybe you don't need to be in the room at all. You know what I'm saying? So, if I was to give advice for any good guy, it's just, read the room. You can always be yourself and be accepted, and people will gravitate to good energy. But for what reason? You have to figure out what your why is. What's your why? You don't have to be a good guy all the time. Sometimes you could just be a guy with no stigma attached to you. You know what I mean? I personally want to be a guy who's being sought after. That's my vanity.